here we go, Gemini. So Gemini, you get all the love, you know. You're holding Venus captive. Gemini, the kidnapper of Venus, you know, of 2020. I mean, now how is this true? Well, I mean, the washing of hands, you know. Gemini rules the hands, so we get this whole thing, you know, washing hands over and over again. Gemini is also the lungs. And Gemini is, in a lot of ways, how we communicate. And so everything in electronic communication can be less than satisfying. Maybe that's more so true of the older generation, people 40 and older. I'm not really sure about, you know, I think younger people growing up with it became so familiar with it. I think especially, I think of millennials as like November of 83 to like the end of 95, basically. You know, after that, 96, they become something else. You know, I mean, I mean, but, and before 80, you know, before late 83, I mean, 83, if you're born, most of 83 is more like Gen X, you know, it's not, you know, pretty much for sure, if you're born between 84 to 94, that is the real, that's deep millennial, you know, right there. And, what a frustrating time it's been because, you know, a lot of your life is still on hold and, you know, a lot of you, most of you are Saturn returning now and, you know, or have already. And so it's like, we're supposed to be full on adults now and this just feels weird. But for Gemini, it's like Mercury comes into your sign, so it's like a nice bright light and you're turned on and you have a lot to share and talk about. You're more attractive than usual, so you know people want to love you, and partly because you're fun. You know, people like to be with fun people. That's something. I mean, except for those who aren't fun, and we don't want to be with them anyhow. So it's cool they got somebody. You know, it's like, oh great. I'm glad that's over with. Yeah, I mean, you know, for you, I mean, too, Gemini, I think you got to think about Sun in the 12th house. 12th house is a bunch of losses. Uranus transiting in 12th, it's like your intuition is kind of up on things on a world scale, what's about to come down. Don't ignore that stuff. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of crazy crackpot information out there, but I'll tell you, you know, the mainstream narrative is designed to swindle you, to hypnotize you, and to get you to buy a bunch of crazy shit that you don't really need.